girl named Anna
and Nix, who plays the cello.
in her room.
Suddenly her
Perpetually drunk stepfather
father enters and
violently hits her on the cheek,
then starts
harassing her,
She kicks him away
causing him to crash into
to a nightstand, and the
shards of a broken vase,
vase pierces his throat.
killing him instantly.
In court she claims
Claims it was self-defense,
but her mother
screams that her husband
would never harm his daughter,
daughter, leading to
Anna being sentenced to
4 years in a
strict juvenile detention
center. Along
with
with
other inmates,
she's brought to the
and
prison
where they're prepared for
confinement and
given orange uniforms.
the prison
Warden Frank
welcomes the inmates and
emphasizes that they
must strictly obey.
obey the guard's orders.
Anna is assigned
Trying to share a cell with
with another inmate named
Ginny. Ginny is
introverted and prefers
prefers reading over social.
socializing.
Ginny tells her that she has
Been
been
here for 5.5
years. The next
day during a walk,
they approach a group of
inmates who are hostile,
hostile towards Anna.
but Cody, the
Group
group
leader intervenes
and warns them
that the other inmates
are true monsters.
according to Cody,
Anna won't last long,
but she advises her
her to be kind
and cautious.
because gentle souls
Don't survive here.
in the cafeteria.
Anna is approached
By Cody again, who
who offers her protection,
since many are already.
already eyeing her.
Anna just wants to be left
Alone and walks away.
away from the table.
Later Cody and her
Gang catch Anna
in the storage room and
and beat her up,
warning
warning
her that if she talks,
they will kill her.
Nurse
Jane explains to Anna
that the prison is
is a terrible place
and the people here.
are very cruel.
Jane suggests that
Anna seek help from
Warden Frank
she encounters serious
problems
Anna goes to the warden
and asks for his
help. Frank
tells
tells
her that the only way
her to avoid violence,
is solitary confinement.
but he doubts
She can handle it. However,
he offers another
other option in this
protection in
exchange for a favor.
Anna rejects
His
it
offer and decides
to return to her cell
she cries
in
and
her bed, and Ginny
comforts her, revealing
feeling that she has been through.
all of this herself.
Ginny tells Anna
That she is very beautiful.
beautiful, and they share
A
it.
tender kiss
They make love and
and fall asleep together.
during a literacy
Literacy class, Anna
is constantly stared
at by a dark-skinned.
and girl
During a walk, the girl
intimidates Anna
and
and
mocks her. Fed up,
with the bullying, Anna
decides to ask for help.
help from the gang.
One member blocks Nix's
Way and then
attacks her
but Nix fights back hard,
hard. Cody
respects her bold moves,
and is now ready to take
the new girl into the gang.
the girls bring
Next to their room,
where there's a TV, alcohol,
alcohol and prohibited substances.
substances.
They explain that
All of this helped
them get through the
ordeal with Frank.
In return for
Mutual favors
Cody orders them to
beat up the dark-skinned girl
girl who had been tormenting
her. The girls
plan to film the incident.
on a phone.
Nix bravely
Confronts her tormentor,
and soon the guards
intervene.
as punishment. Nix
Is stripped and
thrown
thrown
into solitary confinement.
for 2 weeks.
A few days later,
Frank takes the girl,
out of the cell and promises
promises to spare her
from further punishment.
if she pleases him.
She reluctantly
Complies.
feeling disgusted.
Soon the
Girls give Nix her first
tattoo and
offer her drugs.
Cody confesses that
She really likes her. Then
Anna's mother visits her
in
and
prison and still
believed that her daughter
was not abused
She cries
and
and
screams, calling her
father a monster who
did this to her.
the mother slaps
The girl in the face and
leaves, saying
goodbye to her. The
next day dark-skinned
girl and her gang
attack Cody's gang,
the guards intervene
and separate the
prisoners.
Nix is taken back,
To Frank,
reveals that he set up the
dark-skinned troublemaker
to be in solitary
confinement,
for 2 weeks. Frank
offers the girl
prohibited substances
and takes advantage.
of her
She returns to the cell,
and starts questioning.
questioning her cellmate.
The neighbor refuses to
Talk because she is high.
Nix slaps her
Her and immediately tries
to
to
apologize
for the bruise on her face.
face.
Nix is tired of what is happening
And starts using substances.
substances constantly,
She argues with Cody
and the girls force her
to
to
leave the room. Nix
tries to make amends with
Ginny, but she rejects
her. While taking
prohibited substances.
Cody
Sees
sees
this and asks
Nix to come to her
senses.
but she only responds rudely.
Cody yells,
Tells that she is no longer
"You're under their protection."
and leaves. The next day,
The dark-skinned girl
girl and her gang beat
beat
up.
up Nix.
She becomes more and more
Dependent on powerful.
drugs,
She sees intense hallucinations,
hallucinations, and contemplates.
ending her life.
Nix enraged
Attacks the dark-skinned,
girl again,
provoking a massive
fight, and ending up
back in solitary
confinement after a few.
few days.
The girl breaks a plastic
Tray and uses
uses a shard to cut her
vein. One officer
sees this and manages.
to save her life.
She regains
Consciousness in the
psychiatric ward after
some test.
she
She
was sent in the psychiatric.
ward.
She asks to see her mother.
Finally, her mother
Mother admits that
she knew how terrible
her stepfather was
and asks for forgiveness.
forgiveness from her daughter.
After some time,
Frank allows the girl
girls to return
to
to
her cell. Despite the
pain. Nix
removes the tattoo that
Cody had given her.
she reconciles with
Ginny, and they find
and pleasure in each other
again.
In the cafeteria,
Cody's gang taunts.
taunts Nix
One of them approaches her
her and smears her face.
face with food
There is no one else around.
to protect her.
The chief calls Nix to his
Office and gives her
office, cello,
wanting her to perform
in the prison talent show.
show. In the court,
Corridor, Cody
catches up with Nix
and cuts her face
face with a razor for daring
daring to remove their
villainous tattoo.
They beat the
Girl and step on her
hands so she
can't play an instrument.
When Frank
Comes
comes,
to the prison hospital.
Nix confesses
Says that she was beaten.
by Cody. Later,
She tells Dr.
Jane the truth about
the
the
warden who constantly
forces her to
satisfy himself.
Meanwhile,
Frank watches
the women through the
cameras.
After a couple of days,
The inmates attack.
can beat the doctor.
The doctor bursts
Into the warden's office,
and declares that
she will tell everyone
the
the
truth about his violence.
violence against the inmates.
As
Soon as the woman leaves the office,
Frank
orders to get rid of her.
Cody and a few others
Approach the inmate and
repeatedly stab her.
with a knife.
Nix plays
The cello in a talent
show and
manages to make the inmates
fall in love with her music.
After her performance,
Frank tells
tells the girl that there will be
a hearing for her parole.
parole next week.
The warden said he will
Take her side.
Ginny again explains
Explains to Nix that
she shouldn't trust the warden.
as he constantly
Lies. Soon,
Nix receives a
letter
letter
about the parole
hearing. The girl
realizes that Frank
will
will
most likely deceive
her and asks Cody
for help in seeking
seeking revenge on the
despicable warden
Cody gives her a phone,
and tells her to
discreetly record a
video when she is with
the man.
When Nix enters
The
the
office, Frank
orders him to play his
flute so that he can
and speak up for her at
the hearing. The girl
secretly records
the whole process
on her phone. The
next
next
day. The hearing
for her case begins.
she tells the
Judges that she regrets.
regrets what she has done.
However,
Frank breaks his part
part of the deal and declares
that Nix,
as a flagrant violator
leader of the regime,
should remain in prison.
the commission is
About to deny her parole.
parole, but she
Stops them and
shows them the video.
everybody is shocked,
Shocked after watching the clip,
and the warden is
immediately arrested
for his harassment in the
corridor where angry
inmates viciously attack
him. The next
day. The commission
finally grants
grants the girl
early release for her great
work. On the
street. Her joyful
joyful mother welcomes her
daughter, after
some time. Nix
plays the cello at a
big concert and the film
film ends.